Have you ever wondered what really happens behind the scenes when a rock legend collapses on the verge of history? Imagine a tour that spans decades, the body pushed to its absolute limits, and the signs that everyone ignored. Fans cheered, expecting one final triumphant performance, yet something was quietly going wrong. Hidden struggles, secret medications, and warnings from those closest. How did it all come together in a single tragic night? Keep watching as we uncover what happened the night Tom Petty died.
Hi, everybody. We are back. I'm sitting here with Mr. Tom Petty. That was amazing. Thank you for coming here and doing it.
Well, my pleasure.
Yeah, it's a big kick to have you here. You're on a 60-city tour right now in a bus that you yourself decorated. Is that right?
Well, we add to it as we go. We put the colored twirling lights and beaded doors and things like that. Vending machines.
You've turned it into an opium den, is what you're saying.
Yes.
The night Tom Petty died set off one of the most intense dramas in rock history. Behind the headlines, details about his health and the difficult choices he faced came to light. Just days after completing his 40th anniversary tour, Petty collapsed. The news spread fast, sparking debate over the real cause. On October 7, 2017, Tom Petty was rushed to UCLA Santa Monica in cardiac arrest. Doctors worked for hours to revive him, but it was too late. By the end of the day, news of his death had reached the world. Reports confirmed the cause: an overdose of multiple painkillers and sedatives, a combination he had been using in his final months. These medications were intended to help him perform, but a fractured hip and other health issues made the situation worse. The timing was striking. Just a week after finishing his anniversary tour, his body had completely collapsed. This wasn't simply a story of an artist needing rest. It highlighted the extreme choice he had made. Those closest to him had urged him to stop touring, but Petty refused. Mike Campbell, a longtime friend and collaborator, recalled that Tom believed canceling a show would betray his fans. He simply could not accept it. This determination came at a serious cost to his health. In the hospital, the reality became clear. Doctors confirmed the amount of drugs in his system was far beyond his tolerance, and resuscitation efforts failed. The family was told that life support would no longer help. When it was turned off, Tom Petty's life officially ended. What shocked people was the gap between his public persona and his private struggle. On stage, he still sang with power, energy, and precision. Few expected that days later, his life would end so abruptly. His bandmates understood the truth best. Benmont Tench, a close friend and fellow heartbreaker, said, "I saw him go on stage strong, but come back in pain. That night didn't happen out of nowhere. It had been coming." Witnesses agreed. Petty's final night was the result of pushing his body past its limits to keep performing. Petty's family shared a statement highlighting both his passion and the warning his death carried. He died because he loved music and refused to stop. But it was also a cautionary tale about ignoring health. His passing became more than a personal loss. It served as a wake-up call. The story of that night remains part of every discussion about his career. It wasn't just a medical event. It was the final chapter of a legendary journey, shaped by the choices he made. To understand why he pushed so far, we need to look back at his life, from his early years to the rise of his career. Tom Petty was born and raised in Gainesville, Florida, in a working-class family. His childhood was difficult, marked by tension with his father, and music became his escape. As a teenager, he saw Elvis Presley on a nearby movie set, an encounter that inspired him to pursue singing and songwriting seriously. In his early years, Petty formed a band called Mudcrutch with friends from Gainesville. They played small bars and dreamed of recording music. Their first record didn't succeed, and the band quickly disbanded. Mudcrutch's end led to an important turning point. Some members went on to form the core of the Heartbreakers. While friendships grew, early tensions emerged. Petty often kept control over songwriting, which caused friction with other members. Disputes over song rights created early strain in the band. Petty moved to Los Angeles to take his career seriously. The early days were tough, but the band's demo caught producers' attention. Their first album, released as Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, initially struggled in the U.S., but found unexpected success in the U.K. That recognition brought him back to America, opening doors for the band. Petty's career started to gain momentum. His distinct voice and ability to write simple but compelling songs helped the band build a following. Still, creative disagreements arose. Some members wanted to adapt to trends, while Petty insisted on staying true to his style. These clashes caused tension within the Heartbreakers. Despite challenges, Petty's persistence paid off. He built a reputation for staying authentic, creating a rock style with lasting appeal. Even as the American music market shifted, Petty kept his approach consistent. His hits, from classic rock to ballads, became closely associated with his name. The Heartbreakers' lineup changed several times, but Petty remained the constant. His leadership, sometimes viewed as rigid, kept the band together. Some members felt limited creatively, while others respected his vision. Failures and early struggles fueled his determination to succeed. From his difficult childhood to Mudcrutch's collapse and eventual recognition in England, every step shaped Petty into a resilient artist. Meeting his future Heartbreakers laid the foundation for a legendary career. Audiences soon realized Petty's music reflected who he was: direct, uncompromising, and energetic. Early success set the stage for battles ahead, including conflicts with the music industry and internal band challenges. As the 1970s and 1980s progressed, Petty faced more pressure as his fame grew. Radio hits brought popularity, but commercial success also led to disputes with record labels. One of the biggest clashes came with MCA Records. When the label tried to raise the price of his new album, Petty opposed it, arguing that music should remain accessible to fans. The conflict escalated, and he even filed for bankruptcy as a tactic to regain control. The move drew media attention and showed he wasn't afraid to challenge a major label. MCA eventually adjusted its plans, and Petty's stand cemented his role as an advocate for artists' rights. Inside the band, tensions also flared. Petty was the clear leader, managing songwriting and direction. While some supported his approach, others felt limited creatively. Conflicts over finances, touring schedules, and style repeatedly tested the Heartbreakers' unity. Yet, even with these obstacles, Petty produced powerful albums. Damn the Torpedoes became a massive hit, featuring songs like Refugee that showcased his independence and strong artistic voice. He built a reputation as someone who stood firm in both music and business. In the 1990s, Petty expanded his influence by collaborating with major artists. Joining the Traveling Wilburys alongside Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne proved he was regarded as an equal among music legends. Despite these ventures, he kept the Heartbreakers as his main project, showing loyalty to the band he had started with. Even as expectations grew with each new release, Petty resisted compromise. He changed producers, experimented with styles, and wrote with a personal perspective rather than chasing trends. This approach reinforced his identity as an artist who stayed true to his vision. One of Tom Petty's most notable achievements was the album Full Moon Fever, widely regarded as his most significant solo work. The album kept his signature rock sound, but also revealed a more personal side of him. During this period, Petty's approach to working in the studio remained a topic of discussion. Known as a perfectionist, he paid close attention to every detail. Studio staff often reported that he would insist on dozens of takes to get a scene or track exactly right. For his bandmates, this was both a mark of his dedication and a source of fatigue. The demanding workload and tight schedule often left the band exhausted. Professionally, Petty was well respected by his peers. Collaborations with artists like Bob Dylan and George Harrison showed he could work successfully with strong personalities. Yet, within his immediate team, Petty retained the final say. This created a dual image, a musician who was approachable on stage but exacting and uncompromising in the studio. Years of mixed successes and conflicts helped shape Petty into a defining figure in American rock. He left behind a catalog of hits and a story of an artist who was willing to challenge both his record label and his own band to protect his vision. These struggles became examples for younger artists. From this point, Petty's life entered a new chapter where his personal life, with its ups and downs, became just as significant as his career and public achievements. After years of stage success, Tom Petty faced serious challenges in his personal life. The image of a steady and strong musician contrasted sharply with someone experiencing family conflicts and health issues. His first marriage to Jane Beno lasted many years, but eventually ended in tension. As his career became increasingly hectic, the distance between them grew. Work pressure and family strain led him toward dangerous coping mechanisms. In the late 1990s, Petty struggled with a serious drug addiction. He admitted in an interview that he felt trapped in despair and saw substances as a way to escape emptiness. This period was one of the darkest in his life, affecting both his career and his closest relationships. After overcoming addiction, Petty sought to rebuild his life. Around this time, he met Dana York, who became his second wife and companion during his final years. Dana brought him stability and helped him move past the difficulties of his earlier life. Together, they created a home that was calmer and more balanced than the turbulent years before. This partnership also helped Petty regain some equilibrium despite the ongoing challenges of his career and health. Family life, however, was never completely smooth. His daughters, Adria and Anakim, remained close to him, but experienced tension with Dana. These disagreements reflected the complexities of a blended family, especially concerning the management of Petty's career. After his death, these tensions escalated into legal disputes over his estate, highlighting how complicated family dynamics affected his later years. Petty's health was also a growing concern. Years of drug use had taken a toll, and respiratory problems and old injuries added to the strain. His body was failing, but he kept going. Family and friends often urged him to slow down, yet he maintained an intense musical schedule, using performance as a way to keep life moving. Despite these struggles, Petty is remembered as a devoted father and loyal friend. His children have shared stories of how he always tried to be present for important events, even while managing a demanding career. Friends also noted that Petty valued relationships and kept in touch with people even after long periods apart. These glimpses into his life show a man who, despite fame, had a relatable, grounded side. His personal journey shaped his music as well. Many of his songs were autobiographical, reflecting heartbreak, addiction, and recovery. Audiences connected with him because his music explored both success and failure, showing the resilience needed to move forward. In his final years, Petty found some peace through his relationship with Dana and in his music. Still, health issues and family tensions persisted. This context helps explain the challenges he faced during his last tour. His demanding work ethic and complicated personal life created a picture of an artist who was both resilient and vulnerable. To understand why Petty continued performing despite his declining health, it's important to look at the final chapter of his career, the 40th Anniversary Tour, where each decision carried added significance. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' 40th Anniversary Tour stands as a major milestone in his career. Spanning 53 shows, it was one of the longest and most physically demanding tours Petty had ever done. Each performance was both a celebration of his legacy and a period of intense strain on his body. Even in his 60s, he maintained a grueling schedule, reflecting his dedication to music and to fans. When the tour concluded at the Hollywood Bowl, many assumed Petty would finally take time to rest and recover. Instead, he passed away just days later, casting the tour in a new light. What had been celebrated as a major triumph also became a symbol of exhaustion and a final farewell. After his death, disputes over his estate quickly arose. Dana York, his widow, and his daughters, Adria and Anakim, disagreed on managing his name and music. The dispute lasted for years before a resolution was reached. Ultimately, Tom Petty Legacy LLC was formed to allow all parties to have input on his musical and personal legacy. Since then, several posthumous releases have allowed fans to hear previously unheard material. Wildflowers and All the Rest, released in 2020, offered a fuller look at one of Petty's most creative periods. Live at the Fillmore, released in 2022, showcased his performance skills during his later years. These projects continue to honor both his artistry and his connection with fans. Tom Petty's impact goes far beyond his extensive catalog of music. Over his career, he consistently stood up to record labels to defend artists' rights. Moves like declaring a fake bankruptcy to challenge record pricing or refusing to compromise with market trends turned him into a role model for future generations of musicians. His legacy isn't just in the songs he created, it's in the mindset he represented. Firm, principled, and willing to confront the system when needed. Petty's music continues to resonate. Tracks like American Girl, Free Fallin', and I Won't Back Down still play everywhere, from stadiums and television shows to everyday life. New listeners discover a connection when they hear them for the first time, while longtime fans reflect on the journey he made. His passing may have ended his life, but it didn't end his influence. From Gainesville to Hollywood, from small clubs to massive arenas, he left behind a musical legacy that remains timeless. His death, under painful circumstances, marked a tragic end, yet what continues is admiration and respect. Tom Petty's final chapter combined both achievement and sorrow, yet his work lives on in millions of music lovers' hearts. His story of determination, resilience, and sacrifice reminds us that music isn't just a sound, it's a force that shapes lives. Even after his passing, the influence of Tom Petty's music continues to shape artists across genres. His songs, often grounded in storytelling, spoke to everyday experiences and emotions. Unlike many rock musicians who relied on spectacle, Petty's power lay in relatability. Tracks like Learning to Fly and Refugee were not just hits. They were expressions of resilience, longing, and determination. Young musicians frequently cite his work as formative, noting that his lyrics often balance simplicity with depth, creating songs that endure for decades. Petty's approach to songwriting was both disciplined and intuitive. He often started with a melody or a chord progression and allowed the lyrics to emerge naturally. While some songwriters meticulously plan every line, Petty trusted his instincts, believing that authenticity came from writing what felt true at the moment. This method contributed to the honesty and immediacy present in his music. Bandmates have recalled sessions where a simple riff could spark a song in a matter of minutes, yet Petty would insist on refining it repeatedly until it reflected his vision. Collaboration played a central role throughout Petty's career. While he maintained clear leadership in the Heartbreakers, he also respected the contributions of those around him. Mike Campbell, Benmont Tench, and other band members were encouraged to bring ideas, yet Petty's guidance ensured the final product remained coherent. This balance between openness and direction helped the Heartbreakers develop a sound that was unmistakably theirs, blending rock, folk, and even touches of blues in a way that felt natural rather than forced. His work with the Traveling Wilburys further demonstrated his ability to integrate into collaborative projects. The supergroup, which included Bob Dylan, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne, required each member to share creative space equally. Petty's participation highlighted a different side of him, less the band leader and more the supportive partner in a musical dialogue. Critics and fans alike praised the synergy between the members, noting that Petty's style complemented rather than competed, creating an environment where each legend could shine without overshadowing others. Petty also had a unique sense of stage presence. Despite his often understated persona, his performances were charged with energy and focus. Unlike performers who relied on theatrics, Petty's authenticity resonated. Fans felt that every song was delivered with intention, as if he were speaking directly to them. This connection helped the Heartbreakers build a loyal audience that spanned generations. Some of the band's concerts, particularly during the later years, became almost ritualistic experiences for fans, with every note, gesture, and lyric reinforcing a sense of shared journey. If this video helped you gain a deeper understanding of Tom Petty, please like and share it so others can see it. Subscribe to our channel to follow more stories, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on his journey and music.